She will blink. Last second blink saves her from the Quip Swarm. She's going in, she's bottling up. I think at this point you blink into the trees and TP home. No, she's just not even going to get punished for this at all. I think Ursa could have kept chasing. He has his blink off cooldown as well. There's going to be a haunt in from the Spectre. Kills off the Pudge, I believe, with just the haunt damage. Yeah, so Pudge is having a rough time here. He's got 6 flesh heaps. Not exactly what you want.
Yeah, he was trying to walk back to base. He died right in front of his tier 4s by the ancient tower.
Oh no. Yeah, I mean Pudge, he's gonna be going for the hood building into pipe, I believe. That's gonna really help against the magical damage of the Dire, but he's not getting that online anytime soon. He's gonna need another at least 20 minutes of farm.
So back to itemization here, based off of the Euls and the Octarine Core. It looks like plate mail being picked up from DP, probably going to Shiva's Guard next.
Yeah, I think that's the typical build there. You want that AoE disabled. Now, no fun allowed going in, bopping down the Stone Gaze. Seems like kind of an early build as the Exorcism's still online. Crisscross just YOLOing into the Exorcism. He ain't afraid of no ghost. Defensive Euls up from the Death Prophet going in. They're going to get the Walrus Punch as well. Great play by the Weaver. They get the pick off on the Death Prophet, but now the infinite bouncing Chain Frost just going to be dispelled by the illusions from the Manta on the Medusa. So it looks like this could be the end of the fight. GG going in is actually going to take a snowball right to the face. They bash up. They are going to get QQ first. The ultimate is off the mark in terms of hitting on the Bounty Hunter, but now Maudit, he's in some trouble. He's going to fall as well. That's just the Aegis. Meanwhile, Exploding Bitch on the back lines. They have to lock down the Spectre. They get the kill. This is Radiant's window. They're going in. If they lock down Maudit a second time, they get some free push. Chris, I mean, he falls again, but what do you expect from the Pudge at this point? GG going in. He might get blocked in. Is there vision on the Radiant? I think they have to let him walk for now.
Dire's middle tower is
A little bit of a misplay from the Bounty Hunter. Mechanism was off cooldown and chose not to pop it. Not that they may have saved Ursa, but would definitely delayed the inevitable a little bit longer.
Absolutely. Eye of Scotty is completed on the Medusa. I believe she had it for at least most of that last fight, if not all of it. That's a really nice item. She also has 3,300 gold on top of that. If you factor out her buyback, she still has 1,500 gold to play with.
That'd probably be a transition into a butterfly, my guess, considering Ursa decided to go for a basher instead of a Monkey King Bar.
Absolutely. So Weaver going to be laying down some damage on this tier 3. That's exactly what he needs to be doing right now. Weaver's split push is not ideal. Self-Yules by the Death Prophet. I think that was an accidental double tap, wanting to go in and Yules the Weaver instead. In fact, I'm almost confident that's what it was. We have a Manta on the Weaver. I didn't notice that pick up earlier. Don't know if I agree with it, but either way, it's definitely going to work its magic right there.
Yeah, it's coming to play for a couple of fights so far that Weaver's been able to Manta copy himself out of trouble.
Absolutely. So Quap now with Necro 3s is going to be scouted out here. Blinks to the low ground. I think that's a good play there, as you don't want to tangle with a Death Prophet. The Yules is off cooldown, so hopefully no more accidental double taps for It's My Life.
It looks like our Queen of Pain will be working her way into a Sheepstick coming up here.
I think that's a good build. I like the fact that she's going Ultra Lockdown with that Orchid. And I wish she would go Ags, as she has been using that Sonic Wave in almost every team fight, so having it be just a little bit stronger, having it have just a little bit of a lower cooldown would help. But yeah, I don't disagree with the Sheepstick pickup. I just hope she can farm it quick enough to have it be impactful here in this fight. Weaver's going to go in, pops the Swarm, is going to get tracked up, so no invis for you. Going to be time-lapsing out of it. That does dispel the track.
Well, it looks like Maudit wants to be a little aggressive here, popping a little angry rage, but get right back out to the river here with the rest of his team.
Absolutely. So we've got Weaver going in. Let's check our Roche timer here. We are going to have about a little bit of time until we figure out how long it's up. Hopefully a short Roche, and that'll be the 4th Roche of the game at 41 minutes. So a pretty aggressive Roche impact this game. If we look
Hopefully
at
Ursa this time pockets the cheese instead of destroying it.
Yeah, I feel like he should have gotten flamed a little bit for that. That was just... I can't tell if he just didn't know it was worth a lot of money, or he was like, hey team, take the cheese, and no one responded. He's like, fine, I don't need this cheese anyway. Even if we just left it in the pit, one of the supports could have come in, sold it for 500 gold, and then that would have been halfway to the next big item. Meanwhile, you're leaving your poor supports here. Bounty just level 1 on the Dagon. And Lich, I mean, that could help his, I believe, Yules coming out soon. What else could that be? It could be a Hex. I think it's very ambitious to go for a Hex. Could even be a Refresher, but where is he going to get the gold for that?
We'll have to see how that plays out. He is holding on to a little bit over another 800, so we'll see if he picks up the other booster, the Ring of Health there. And it looks like Tusk may have taken a little bit more than he could chew, fighting Maud at man-to-man here in the Dire Jungle, popping the Glimmer Cape and scooting on out.
Yeah, I mean, I think Tusk knew what he could get away with there, and Ursa maybe not looking to punish as hard as he should be. Pudge here, again, a tough game. 2, 13, and 9. Now does have the Hooded Defiance, can be building up a pipe as soon as he can find the farm. But again, lowest net worth, only 5,800 at 43 minutes in the game. He's having a tough life, man. Support life is never easy, especially when you are an underfarmed, underleveled Pudge. Speaking of levels, let's look at our overall breakdown for that. Lots of level 20s coming out across the board for the big guy carries. Spectre still sitting at level 19. Could use that little extra boost from the stats, but I think everyone's keeping themselves relatively even. There's no huge discrepancies going on.
Yeah, even the support side between both teams, pretty close. Pudge being 13 and Bounty Hunter being 14. Obviously, those are the two low men on the totem pole at this point in time.
Alright, we've cut Pudge following around the Quap, doing his little rot dance here. And Queen of Pain, she's saving up another 2k gold. She's got buyback if she needs it, so maybe looking to go all in on a Radiant push right now. We haven't talked about the Medusa in a little bit. She's now picked up the Butterfly on top of the Scotty, but she does not have buyback if this next fight gets violent.
Dangerous all in, but from how the lanes are being pushed right now, maybe a safe play.
Yeah, and I mean, Medusa hasn't died a whole lot, only twice in this whole game, and one of those was very early on in the laning stage. She's only been brought down once since there was really that all-out aggressive push lineup coming out from the Dire. Oh, this is
bad.
Very well,
safe and silent. Yep. We got an invisible Death Prophet scouting out the Radiant team. A track has come out on top of the Queen of Pain. We'll see if DP wants to make this move. Getting a little extra cheeky damage there from Queen of Pain, screaming and not knowing that the DP is just hanging around.
Ooh, Pudge figures out that he's blocked in. They're going to go in. They reveal her now. They use the Orchid. There's a defensive Yules there on the Death Prophet. The Radiant Courier comes in. Not even going to be a victim here as Quap unloads the ultimate. Does now have the completed Scythe of Vice. So we've got Quap's little Necro buddies going in. They're just going to get some vision here. They are going to scout out Maudit, maybe going in just trying to harass him a little bit. Making sure they don't feed him the Necro Gold, though, because that's a big chunk of change in the Ursa's pocket.
I think it's 500 in total between the two of them. So definitely, I mean, if he doesn't like cheese, he probably doesn't like Necro books.
Yeah, man, who needs gold? Who needs items to win Dota? Let's just, hit creeps is for nerds. So Maudit going in. We haven't talked a whole bunch about his itemization. He does opt to pick up a Heart of Tarask after he finished the Basher. What do you think of that pick?
Well, I mean, probably Abyssal's be his next pickup, right? But he's trying to tank up with Heart. Good for his ulti from the debuff reduction, being a tanky frontliner, but now their issue is not having enough damage to back it up, so he may want to go into another damage item.
Alright, Weaver's playing up very aggressively. He's sitting just outside of Sentry Vision from the Dire. Quap is coming in. They want to find out this Bounty Hunter. How do they know he's there, or was that just a really lucky guess?
Well, they had no vision on him, so I guess it just happened to play out that way, and Weaver had taken a chance throwing bugs and happened to get a good time to do so.
Yeah, I'm doing a quick gem check here, because it seems like, we're 46 minutes in the game. There's invis heroes on both sides. Seems like that might be a priority. We're going to have a dust here. I don't think it's revealing anything except for maybe Weaver's possible Sakuchi, but this is going to be tense as the Radiant. They want to find something. We do have the Stone Gaze online if that's how they want to open up the fight. No fun allowed. Looking to go in. Pops the Snake. Going to be slip-slopping around. Catches out the Bounty and the Lich. There's going to be the Swarm coming in onto that creep wave. The Necro unit's doing what they can to the racks. There's going to be a nice hook there from the Pudge. Catching out GG. Does he end up getting away from this? He's taking a little bit of tick damage. There's going to be the Exorcism there. Bouncing Chain Frost mostly into the creep wave. Manta to dispel it off of No Fun Allowed, but now he brings it to his teammates. Split up, everyone. It's my life. Going to be taking so much damage here, and I think they do end up getting the kill as he's locked in place by the Stone Gaze. Defensive Yules from It's My Life will help him stay alive. Snowball going in. I think Tusk might die here from the haunt. Maudit, he's up. He's angry to get out the Pudge. Once again, Quap trying to run away. Again, she has no buyback if she dies. That's going to be an important kill. No Fun Allowed. Taking some Exorcism Ghosties. Does she live here? Oh no, she does fall from the Crypt Swarm, so now it's going to be no Medusa for another 80 seconds as she as well has no buyback. They get out the Quap as well. They're going to clean up the Radiant Heroes here. Just the Tusk getting back to his own base. In terms of buyback, this is looking grim for the Radiant. The only Radiant hero with buyback right now is going to be the Weaver, and he's not really that useful against Mega Creeps incoming.
Yeah, the unfortunate part there is Death Prophet got very low, and then the self-fuels really kept her alive long enough for Ocarina Core to completely heal her up with the ghosts.
Yeah, those ghosts, MVP right there. Death Prophet is certainly using the exorcism to the best of her ability, but once we get down to late game, which we're approaching, she's just not doing as much. It's going to come down to the Spectre and the Medusa, and at this point, Medusa is pretty big, having the highest net worth in the game by about 2k.
Yep, probably a pretty strong wave on bottom here. We'll see who goes to clean that up. Pretty good farm. It looks like Pudge is going to get that TP in to try to rot up all those ranged creep.
Yeah, he's going in. He really gets that siege creep, man. He's looking for the farm to finish up his pipe, but at this point, we're 50 minutes in. The magic to sell from the pipe is going to be negligible, and right now they're mostly relying on Spectre's raw right-click damage, so the magical damage isn't huge. It doesn't even help with Death Prophet's ult, because that is physical damage as well. So I'm not quite sure what use he's going to get out of that. Maybe he's following a build and likes to stick with what he knows. Either way, tier 3 tower will most likely end up falling here for the Radiant. They want to defend these racks. They're going to use the Stone Gaze. They will catch out GG. He's going to be Guardian Grieving himself up. They're going to go in. They're going to get the Snowball there. They do get the kill on the Bounty Hunter to start things off. Defensive Yules from the Death Prophet going in. We got the BKB on the Big Bear. It's My Life is going to be Yulesed up from the Queen of Pain. That item is really paying off. We've got a Haunt in. Damage is being dealt all over the place. Mata ends up falling, courtesy of No Fun Allowed. This Medusa doing exactly what she needs. Can she get the Spectre as well? Spectre has the dagger. Does he go for an awkward path here? Maybe trying to get up to the high ground with the Spectral Dagger. Going for it, but does not make it out. Can't get through the trees in time. Really, really well played there by the Medusa, getting exactly the kills they needed. They only leave the Lich alive in the bottom lane, and you don't really care much about that guy anyway.
There's about a 5k gold swing and a 9,000 XP change just in that one fight, and a lot of that gold going over to the Medusa, which is definitely needed late game here. Padding that wallet, getting more items.
Absolutely. Now, she does have buyback if she needs it, and an extra 1,000 gold. Hopefully we don't see any more real buyouts from her, because I think she is going to need the buyback, especially considering there's 2 exposed lanes of racks, especially on top, where the lane's going to be pushing. Medusa, she wants to go in. Death Prophet does have buyback if she needs it. Ursa, no. There's going to be no bear in this next fight. They're going to focus the creep wave first before going straight for racks. Lich is here. He has the Frost Blast if he wants. He's going to be casting it. There is going to be the Manta from both the Weaver and the Death Prophet. They are bringing the illusions to the fight. They finish off their first lane of racks. Finally, we're going in. Death Prophet just taking a bunch of damage from the creeps. And yeah, Bounty Hunter not really able to find something. Does go in, gets a swat onto the Weaver, but still feeling safe and healthy. Gonna be going, getting a Demon Edge. Oh, Divine Rapier, please let it be so.
Probably the safe move here would be going Monkey King Bar, so I don't know. Yep, I just picked up the other Javelin, so smart move from the Weaver. Probably doesn't want to throw the game away since they just picked up a nice lane of racks. But, you know, had they been playing from behind, probably would have went with the Divine.
Man, Dota's not about playing safe. It's about taking those crazy risks, and please, Divine Rapiers. He does have, or Tusk has a Halberd. I don't know if we pointed that out before, but I really do like the disarm here, especially on the Ursa and the Spectre, because now it seems like Dire are relying so much on their right click, and, you know, you take that away for just a couple of seconds, and that bear, he's pretty flimsy if he's not hitting you back.
Yep, it also plays into, you can put that halberd on the bear and then sheep right afterwards, and you got a very nice downtime for the Radiant to not have to worry about that bear punching you in the face.
Yeah, Radiant have nice lockdown potential. You can also combo that with the Stone Gaze that's coming useful in so many of these fights. It's My Life, wanting to make stuff happen. The Roche attempt is coming. The Roche is melting there. But I think Radiant, they are the wise ones here. They go in, they figure out something's going on. We've got the BKB pop by Mata, so no magic damage for you. But the Stone Gaze is doing so much work. They're going in. They're going to get a really nice Chain Frost there from the Lich. Doing a lot of work, but they do get down the Ursa before he has the chance to grab the Aegis. Death Prophet is going to get down the Pudge. But again, not a really big deal at this point in the game. I think this could be it for the Radiant. It's just No Fun Allowed versus the world here. She got to get the Spectre down, but the Dagon going to be doing too much damage. Spectre goes in. He lives with like 40 HP. Oh, Spectre, that's your lucky day. But I don't think the Roshan is looking too appealing. There's going to be a buyback here as they got to defend these racks Queen of Pain
A lot of space
doing...
created in that team fight. Queen of Pain just sitting there up top, poking away at the racks, and ends up getting it.
All right, Quap has to be a little bit careful here. It's My Life bought back, ready to go, ready to fight. So they lose a lane of racks here. I still don't think that's worth having the Medusa drop down, though.
2 lanes of racks. You already had on your tier 4. You had a big fight around Roche Pit. It stalls them from getting Roche. It might be worth it. Obviously, you never want your hard carry going down, but sitting on 6,100 right now, not really hurting from a money perspective, just a time down from farming, so...
Yeah, but I think she needs to constantly keep farming. But look at the overall momentum switch. We saw Dire have a very commanding lead in terms of net worth breakdown, but now we've got 3 Radiant heroes leading the charge. Medusa, Quap, and Weaver. Well, they're picking up the big items. We are going to have the Monkey King bar and the Weaver. I believe Quap picking one up as well. So we've got lots of mini bash, lots of lockdown. Is that just for... I mean, Spectre doesn't have a Radiant, so I don't know what the mischance dodge is for.
Probably just the extra damage from the mini stun. Probably from a perspective from Queen of Pain, what else are you going to build in this late in game, you know, from a damage perspective?
Ags! Go in with the Ags! They are going to get GG now. He's going to get sheep sticked up.
I've been throwing the Sonic's wave all the time, but you just saw mini bash coming into play there, getting the kill on GG Bounty Hunter.
Alright, she might end up paying for this. It's My Life going to go in, going to silence her up. She has the Yules if she wants to use it. Finished up Shiva's Guard as well. Shape Stick Up goes through. So that Death Prophet, she's feeling that help from the Lich, who ends up finishing off that Hex at a very reasonable time. Queen of Pain, she's now trying to run. Blink is off cooldown if she can live through the silence, but she's going to go through, take a Crypt Swarm right to the back, going in with her own Sheep Stick there, turning It's My Life into a pig. Blink in here. She wants to get out alive, and that is a successful juke for the Queen of Pain and some space created down bottom as Weaver continues to farm.
Very nicely done. Time stalled, and it gives you some more space for your Medusa, who seems to be just saying, going straight dataless, went from insta purchase. So still sitting on just a little bit less than buyout. So probably want to farm that up before the next big fight.
Yeah, I think it's a real mistake because she doesn't know when the next big fight's going to happen. You gotta constantly save. Maybe just go in there for the Chrysalis and then wait till you can get the other half of the sword. Now we are going to have Crisscrossed pushed up really far here. Does end up getting the Dismember. This might be a setup here for the Weaver. Going in, uses the Manta to dodge the Ursa smash, but is still going to pick off the Pudge. There's a nice rotation here from the Dire, making some space. Weaver might get out alive, has the Scoochie up again if he wants to use it. Meanwhile, Medusa continuing to farm. Just sitting there contemplating life, contemplating how to win this game. Weaver's still making the space. Ursa finally going to be making use of that Earthshock and trying to get what he can, but ends up just blinking back. Doesn't want to push out too far. This Weaver is slippery as heck. How do you lock this guy down?
I mean, they have the tools, but you need the Lich around, as well as DP also has a Sheep Stick, so that's the only way you're going to be able to do it.
Alright, we are going to see Weaver pop the BKB just for some escape against a Lich. I think that's fair because he didn't really know what was coming next. I'm really surprised we didn't see Weaver buy a Lincoln Sphere this game. I think that's the typical build. I don't know why you wouldn't go it. There's a lot of single point click damage on the Dire. Even if it's just the Dagon and the Sheep Stick, you can block that.
Yep, definitely want a battle build versus playing it safe, and I think you had just mentioned playing it safe in Dota is not the way to go, so...
Alright, Sheep Stick there from the Quap, trying to go on to Exploding Bitch, pops the Necro Units as well, but blocks herself in with the Necro Units briefly. I think that's a big misplay. The Roche attempt now coming out for the Dire. The Radiant have got to do something about it right now if they want to contest it, but I think this Roche just melts. I don't think the Radiant want to invest the resources it's going to take to get it down, but Dire back off as well. They're feeling really spooked here.
Yep, and a little misplay on the side of Lich. Went to go Sheep, Queen of Pain, and instead clicked on one of the Necro Warriors.
You know, you gotta get him down sometimes. Either way, we're gonna have the Roche again falling quickly, but the Radiant might want to deal with his Crisscrossed. His 17 deaths really feel like they're adding up. He's just feeding unnecessary gold to the Dire and making it harder and harder for Radiant to gain momentum. But here we go. Roshan falls. There's gonna be cheese on the ground. Please, no deny. Okay, they do feed it to the Death Prophet. That's a great use of that cheese. So if she's getting low and the exorcism isn't done yet, just pop herself back up to full and keep herself alive, fighting with the ghosts flying during that fight.
See if Dire decide to use this to their advantage, try to push out this middle lane and get equalize at least one lane of Rax, but they're trying to do that. You have pressure on bottom lane from Weaver as well as Queen of Pain pushing this other lane towards the last remaining tier 4 tower, or tier 3 tower and Rax that only reside on bottom lane for Dire.
Yep, Queen of Pain will be building up a BKB next, I believe, with that Ogre Club pickup. It could be an Ags, but it's a very peculiar way to build it. I think a BKB is going to be fantastic here. It does block a lot of the magic damage, but it doesn't really block the Exorcism, which is probably a big reason you go in. Weaver, he's going to be using a Manta to dispel that track. Really nice job, but meanwhile, Queen of Pain might give her life for this push. She will fall courtesy the Bounty Hunter. That is a Dagon level 5 now. And they are going to pop the Silence, trying to get the Weaver here, but that is one slippery bug. They're committing all the heroes. And, can they even find the Weaver? I think he's gonna scoochy his way back to his own jungle and feel safe. Meanwhile, up top, I mean, the Radiant Heroes or Radiant Creeps are gonna start whacking on the tier 4s pretty soon. You gotta start investing resources
also
there.
Pushing in very well.
I mean, Ursa, it feels like he used to be huge, but that's the problem with an Ursa, is that he doesn't really hold his own into the late game. He's great at getting online early with that Aegis. He's great at being aggressive in the early team fights, but now that Radiant have ways to deal with him with the Sheep Sticks, with the Orchids, with the, you know, heck, you've even got the Scotty, that's slowing him down enough to really make sure he's just not having a huge impact here in the fight.
It feels like Ursa hasn't picked up a new item in about 20 minutes or so, and impact has definitely dropped off drastically.
No fun allowed going in. Now has a sizable amount of gold. Again, it's just going to be about 1,000 on top of buyback. And I think saving for buyback is the smart play here. We are now capped out on levels on a couple of the heroes. Let's check our overall score. I think it should be most of the big carries. Queen of Pain still sitting at level 4 along with the Ursa, DP dropping down below, but even the support Pudge that spent half the game in the Fountain is level 18, so he's got his max level Dismember. That's going to be really big in these fights because that's a pretty sizable duration of lockdown.
Yep, just adds to another element that they can reduce that Ursa's ability to do anything if they can hop on top of it. And Weaver getting a little cheeky on bottom, throwing out some bugs as well as harassing this DP down, but it's just going to Sakuchi his way out.
Yep, he's getting out scot-free here. He's been a nuisance all game, and all the lanes are pushing pretty well. We've got Lich pushed up back on his side of the river. I mean, if you're Lich, man, you've been putting out the best possible ultimates you can. You got big items, you got the Ags, you got the Sheepstick. What do you do next? What do you do to make sure your team wins?
Yeah, it's going to be a tough position. You're going to have some, has got to land that Slice of Bites onto, some key components. Definitely have to lock down that Medusa, but
we got a fight breaking out. We've got a Walrus Punch here, exploding bitch flying into the air. There's going to be a Chain Frost just bouncing to Creeps right now. Crisscross standing in there trying to get what he can. There's going to be the ultimate pop there by the Medusa. Going in, QQ is going to just fall before he can get anything really done, but now no fun allowed. Everything's bouncing, everything's going down. There's going to be the Aegis coming back here. Who's hopping back into the fight? It's going to be the Spectre, and I think Queen of Pain, she falls here. Tusk goes in, immediately backs out, realizes that is not the plan. There's no ult from No Fun Allowed. I think he might fall here. The Mana Shield doing its work, but in the end, they are able to lock down Medusa. And now it looks like
exploding bitch very nicely using that diffusal blade to drain as much mana from Medusa as possible, and in the meantime it looks like Tusk can try to buy some time and snowball, but it's going to get cleaned up.
Yeah,
no
buyback.
Allowed, trying to get back in the main lines here.
Yeah, Medusa buys in. I think that's a smart move here. She's got to get Exploding Bitch, but if she falls here, I think that's GG. She's going to go in. She's going to Manta. They have enough damage here. There's going to be a defensive Euls eventually, but they do get the Spectre. That's huge. There's a hook in. They get the Death Prophet as well. They've stopped this push somehow, and the racks are still up. The Radiant got this. It cost them a heck of a lot of money from the Medusa, but good golly, that is some defense coming out.
Yeah, that circles back to your point that you always never know when you're going to need to have that buyout, so very smart move having that saved up.
Meanwhile, the bottom racks ends up pushing through. Space created. This is some rat dodo at its finest as the Creeps do the heavy lifting there. Dire are against Mega Creeps. This is probably GG. It's a very, very low comeback rate against Mega Creeps. And, alright, so Ursa going to be building himself
up. They
up.
don't have the best lineup for it either, so that's the tough defending between a Bounty Hunter, a Lich, and the Ursa. Definitely can't clear waves quick enough from a Mega Creep perspective.
Yeah, I mean, I think Death Prophet and Ursa are probably the best ones to handle it. I mean, you see Bounty Hunter here just getting wrecked. He's probably stuck between a rock and a hard place. Does end up blinking his way out. I don't think we talked about that blink pickup yet, but it's noticeable.
Gonna need it for those quick engage, trying to get in and out for tracks, but at this point going up against Megas, might be a little bit viewpoint.
Ooh, Weaver had a rapier and drops it! That was gonna be a rapier.
Oh, no.
Oh my god, who did they give it to? They give it to the Bounty Hunter! Uh-oh, I think that's the wrong play here. You don't want the Bounty Hunter to have it. Now I think maybe that's it, but no, I think Dire realized that's the wrong choice. You don't want to give a A rapier to the bounty hunter who hits once every, 6 seconds. And I think Dyer probably salty about that pickup as well. You want to give that to your Ursa. You want to give that to maybe even the Spectre, I think would be a fantastic holder for it. One tier 4 tower falls. The second one is seriously under siege. I mean, yeah, sure, they'll be able to defend the creep wave there with that extra damage on the bounty, but if the rapier had gone to the Spectre, do you think Dyer can come back from this?
I think they would have just had to done a GG push down middle, and that's your best hope. But a Haunt with the Divine Rapier is a really nasty combo, so could have gotten a lot of work done, even on Ursa as well. But unfortunately, Bounty Hunter getting a little greedy in mind to have that in the inventory.
Absolutely. So now Medusa has picked up the Hyperstone, perhaps a Moonshard, perhaps an AC. I think at this point you just want to hit as fast as you can, so Moonshard might be the play. It's greedy, but I almost want Medusa to sell an item or two and pick up a rapier of her own. I think going in, she's done a really great job not dying in these important engages, and I mean, the most damage possible is always nice now that she's hitting hard with that, or hitting fast with the potential Moonshard.
I think she'd probably want to roll into an AC, considering that'll help you out against the physical damage of Death Prop, as well as Ursa smacking you in the face. But, at this point we'll have to see if the game continues to stretch out longer, if you want to consume those Moonshards, or if you're willing just to go for the defensive strategy of the AC with the added protection of the attack speed, as well as the physical armor decrease.
Alright, so Ursa, we saw him pick up a Satanic a little while ago. We mentioned the Heart pickup as well. What's Ursa's next big play here? Because he does have buyback, but he's got 1,500 gold on top of it.
May want to go into finally getting an Abyssal for additional lockdown, but it's gonna tough with the survivability of that 6-second duration BKB. You probably want that additional extra time for smacking somebody in the face.
Alright, we've got Quap blinking up aggressively, maybe trying to force a few spells, does end up forcing out the Spectral Dagger. Nothing huge there. What's Quap's next item pickup here? She does still need to save for buyback, but I think at this point she can sell the Necros, and it's all okay if she wants to pick up a big item. The Ags is going to be so worth it for her. I don't know why she hasn't prioritized that. Weaver going in. He's going in. He might end up just smacking down the bear here. Gonna be going in. They drop the Queen of Pain ultimate going in. They are gonna have... Oh man, no fun allowed, just spraying out the damage. Greaves from both sides, trying to keep everyone alive. Chain Frost is bouncing, but there's going to be a triple kill here from the Medusa. I think this might be GG. They get down the Bounty Hunter. Where's the Rapier dropped? Who picks it up? It's going to be on someone, I promise. It's My Life is going to go. Rapier's on the pudge, so maybe now he's climbing up that net worth chart. After his 18 deaths, he earned this, man. This is going to be it as the throne is starting to drop. Radiant pulled it out of here. It looked like it was going in favor of the Dyer for a while there, but they bring it back, and, at the end it was very, very, very close, but Radiant, they just end up getting more racks down, and, well, they won the game. Fantastic playing by both sides. Who's your MVP?
Both teams played very well. I did just want to comment on the one fact that you did notice that the Moonshards, good pickup on Medusa there at the very end, just shredding everybody with that multi-shot. From a MVP perspective, both teams played well. I gotta kind of lean towards Lich, even though he lost. Clutch Chain Frosses kept up warding. I'm a huge support fan of people being able to do what their job is, and I'm leaning towards Lich on this one.
Yeah, I gotta give a big shout out to Lich as well. I think he itemized perfectly. He got his items out at a reasonable amount of time. The Chain Frosts were on point in almost every single instance. And of course, the Ags was out pretty early to help him out with that as well. I think on the Radiant team, you gotta give it to Dusa. She's the one that, when it looked grim, when the racks were going down, she kept farming, she kept going, got the items she needed, found the space, and somehow was able to just turn into the monster that she is in the late game. So after an hour and 5 minutes, Radiant take this game. Again, thank you so much for joining me as a co-caster. This has been Dino Brutality X. If you want to go ahead and follow him, where can they find you?
Sure, you can find me on Twitch at Dino Brutality X, and same with Twitter at Dino Brutality X.
Alright, again, thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any feedback, please feel free to let me know. Always looking to improve. If you enjoyed the casting and want one of your own, please feel free to submit me a replay at anniecasts@gmail.com. I'll get back to you with prices and talking about all that stuff. But again, this has been an episode of my replay casting series. Thank you guys so much for helping me out support my trip to TI, and I hope to see you all there.